I want to thank Nelson for having me out here tonight. I'm excited to talk to everybody about the different opportunities in recruiting in schools when you're looking at schools for your son to move on. What our options are. There's so many options. There's junior college, there's Division I, there's Division II, there's Division III. A lot of different options for you school-wise. Oakton Community College is located in Des Plaines, Illinois. As Nelson mentioned, it is my 6th season as the head coach at Oakton, and we've been very, very successful. I said out of the 6 years, we've averaged 35 wins almost every year. Last year we were in the Final Four to go to Nationals. Oakton's a junior college, which in today's economy, you all know that it's not that expensive to go to Oakton where it would be to other schools. So junior college is really, it seems to be a bigger option than it was in years past. At one time, you were looking at junior college if your GPAs or grades were not the greatest, but now that has changed. We're getting kids in here at Oakton with 30s on their ACTs, believe it or not. And the reason that they're coming to Oakton is because they might have been in high school, they were playing baseball, and they just were overlooked. And you know that there's so many players out there that all these big schools, they're not everywhere, and a lot of times kids get overlooked. So when you're overlooked, you look at it, if you have a dream of moving on to a bigger school or playing at a bigger school, you might say, you know what, maybe I'm going to go to junior college and I'm going to try to be seen there and move on. And that's what we've done at Oakton. We've had 32 Division I scholarships out of our program. And my job and my coaching staff's job at Oakton is most importantly is our academics. We want to make sure that academics is the first thing that they really have to get strong at, because in order to move out of our program to a bigger program, you got to have the academics, because if you don't have that, then there's no way I can move you on. So, they would come to our school, they get their grades up, and then they would get the opportunity to play in hopefully at a level where they get enough at-bats where all these big schools come out and see them play. There's 3 types of junior colleges that you should be aware of some of the rules. There's a Division III junior college. They do not offer scholarships. Okay, so you'd have to look at the different type of junior colleges you might be interested in. If it is a Division III junior college, no scholarships are offered. Division II junior colleges can offer scholarships. Oakton is a Division II junior college. We offer scholarship money to our athletes. Okay, and Division I can offer full ride scholarships, meaning they can do housing, they can do food plans, and they can do scholarships for tuition. So the differences between the 3's no, 2 can do basically the tuition end, but no food, no housing, and then Division I JUCOs can do a lot more. Basically, what Oakton, I mentioned to you, is an opportunity to come through our program. Our coaching staff really works hard to make sure our players develop, they get to a next level, and then I really take pride in moving our guys on to bigger universities. UIC's here tonight. We've got our first baseman that played at Oakton last year. He's at UIC, got a scholarship, worked hard. We take pride in having our kids play at these schools. And every year our kids come into our program hoping to reach those goals. I had a kid out of Lincoln Way East, his name was John Moore, 3-4 years ago, was overlooked at Lincoln Way East. Really good player, really good academics. Came to Oakton, and after 1 year, his freshman year, Purdue University came to us and said, we really like your center fielder. Would you be interested in letting him go early? And at Oakton, we believe we move our guys on as quick as possible, because in the recruiting game, when we're recruiting players, we want our kids to know that, look, you come here for 1 year, you work hard, and some big school comes after you, we're not going to stand in your way. We're going to let you go, and we're going to take pride of putting you in our program with your name and picture on there that you're playing at a big university. So basically our goals at Oakton is 1, academics, and 2, moving you on to something that you've always dreamed about doing. Okay. Is there any questions about the junior college? Does anybody have any questions about recruiting for junior college? Go ahead.
Do you try out?
At the junior college level, yes, we have tryouts early in the fall season. We have a fall season, which are 20 games in the fall. We usually have like 50, 60 kids that do try out for the team. I carry a large number, like 40 in the fall. And then, but we do make cuts, yes. You do try out for the junior college level. So, and then once that fall season is over, we cut it down to like 33 players, and then we go into our regular season, which is 56 games at the junior college level. That's the max you can play during the spring season. There is a difference too when you're looking at your schools. If your son likes to play a lot of games, I mean the junior college level plays 56, where sometimes the Division III schools and the Division II schools are limited to less amount of games, so you don't play as much as you would at a junior college level. So there's a lot of advantages there, especially for the kid that is a late bloomer, and we've had a lot of those. You know that, is that kids are working hard all the time with Nelson. His staff does a great job here at play ball. And, you know, I'll tell you one thing about Nelson, I got to mention this to you, is that him and his staff really care. You know, I mean, every day they're out here working with your son, if it's for an hour, 45 minutes, but it doesn't stop there, because my phone is off the hook with Nelson at times. Not only me with big universities, I mean, he's trying to help everybody, but the most important thing, he's trying to help your son, and with the developmental end, but he just doesn't just let it end here. He really cares about moving you on and making sure that your son is placed somewhere. So he makes a lot of phone calls to colleges every day, and I thank him for that. We've had a lot of kids through his program that have helped me win, and they're good kids, and you know, he does a great job. And I'm telling you right now, for the money you spend trying to develop your son and get him to the next level, you're doing a great thing, because there are people out there that just, you know, they'll go through the motions with the developmental end, but he goes a little further and he really tries to help the kids, you know, move on. So Nelson, I think we all should give him a, you know, a little round of applause. Is there any other questions about Oakton? Any more? And we got all the big guys coming up next here, so yes, Steve.
Tuition money in junior college is any different if you don't live in the school district?
Their in-district fees at Oakton Community College, it all change. It's all different in all the junior colleges, but in-district fees for like 12 credit hours is usually like around $1,100–1,200. If you're out of district, it's more money. It's around $3,000. Now, a lot of my players, you know, I'll just say for Oakton, you know, I've got kids that come from Appleton, Wisconsin. I got kids that are from like South Holland, Illinois, all over, not only just Des Plaines, but a lot of times they don't want to commute, so they move in district, and they're in an apartment or a house in district, and then they do a change of address form, which is legal on our end through Oakton, and they get the in-district fees. So if you're not in district, you know, and your son doesn't want to commute all the time, a lot of times he'll have that option if he wants to live with the baseball players in you know, a house or an apartment, you know, to get that in-district break. So, any other questions?
What division was Oakton?
Oakton Community College is Division II baseball. So, I mean, as I said, there is scholarship money that we offer all the time. We're always recruiting. We try to get out to see as many high school games as possible. But I could say this about our program. I mean, it's all about helping guys moving on, and then also having a relationship with these bigger programs, because, you know, I want to help them be successful. You know, I'm always on the phone with them trying to improve their team. And there's a lot of times that, you know, they've made calls to me and say, you know what, we like so-and-so, you know, but I think he's a year away. You know, I think we really like him. He's a year away. And a lot of times they might say, you know what, maybe he should go to junior college route just to develop for one more year, and then those bigger programs, they look for that quick fix to try to get healthy. So those are some of the advantages if your son's like, just starting to come into his body or whatever, you know, he might want to take the junior college route before he jumps into a bigger school, which a lot of times, if you go to a bigger school and they might have a guy as a junior or senior that's at his position, and you know he's going to sit there for 2 years and really not get the at-bats that he needs. That's one of the other things about junior college, is that you'll get to play right away most of the time if you're good enough. I mean, there are guys that, you know, come off the bench here, but if you're a pretty good ball player and you know, and it looks like you want to go to that big school, but you know the school you're looking at, there's guys ahead of them, then you might want to look going to a smaller school like a junior college. So.
Do you only play other junior colleges in all your games?
Yeah, it's strictly all junior colleges. We do play some JV games like against Concordia University and River Forest, Judson. We occasionally will do some JV stuff like that. You know, we play some other schools, but most of the time out of the 56, I would say during the regular season, it's mostly all junior colleges. And they're junior colleges from Florida, from Minnesota, all over. I mean, but once our schedule's set up like this, is that every February, Oakton Community College starts out playing games in the Metrodome in Minneapolis. It's a great experience to play in an indoor stadium. I love it. They love it. When the roof is okay, but this year it's canceled. So then right after that we come home, then we fly down to Florida, and we play 15 games down in Florida. So by the time that's over, that's 20 games out of the 56 that I'm either indoors or in warm weather, because I know it's rolling the dice once you get back home. Last year we were very lucky with the spring season, but you know, I think we have a nice setup there. As I said, you know, doing things that we try to step out of the box as a junior college level. We try to do things at a higher level than a lot of other junior colleges. So, I mean, just because as you see junior college, there are different levels of junior college. So, I mean, there's some junior colleges that are, you know, you might look every year, you can say, you know, Oakton Community College is top 10 in the country. Or there are junior colleges in the area that don't make those rankings. So you just got to find the right fit for you. So with your son, and Nelson's group would guide you in the right direction. Honestly, he will.
Do you spend a lot of your time knocking on doors of other college coaches on behalf of your players, or do you more often field phone calls that are inbound from college?
You know, I'm glad you asked that, because my regular job is I'll be honest with you, I coach baseball at Oakton, but I have another job. I'm a garbage salesman, and I was with Waste Management for 25 years, and now I'm with a company called Veolia Environmental. So during the day, I'm selling garbage. So I get to the office in the morning. This is what's going on right now. I'll just give you a typical day in the life of Bill Fratto, is that I'll get in the office, I'll make coffee, it's 8 o'clock, and I'm going to say, you know, I'm going to be productive today. I'm going to sell a lot of garbage containers for Veolia. The phone rings at 9 o'clock. It's Arkansas Little Rock. They're saying, I'd like to see video on one of your players. Believe it or not, my phone is crazy, and my boss knows it because of my passion for baseball. But I'm always networking with colleges throughout my day, and always on the phone every day with different colleges. And now that we've sent so many kids on to like Binghamton University, Penn State, Purdue, I've got programs there. Please take some as you leave tonight. You can look through the program. It shows the different schools that we've sent kids on to play. But I find that something I love to do, picking up the phone and calling these schools, because looking to see one of my kids that I've coached at another school with a different uniform on, I take pride in that. So I think that I do that more than others, because it's my passion, and I really care about these kids that come through my program. So.
Playing for you though, and there's not a lot of schools calling about that particular kid. Do you knock on some doors?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Ask for them to take a look at them, or
yeah. We've got kids that come through our program that are signed professional. We have kids that come through our program that dream about playing Division I baseball, and we get them there. Then there's some guys that they might not be the D1 guys or the pro signs. So I sit down with each of my players and we get a list of schools. Every one of my players, I sit down, I get a list of 5 to 10 schools, and I say, okay, Bob, where would you like to go? And then I'll tell him, if he's out of line and he's telling me he wants to go to Arizona State and there's no way he can play at Arizona State, then I'm going to be honest with him. And I think Nelson would be honest with his guys as well. There's always a school for everybody. And I just don't look at the top tier and forget about the rest of the guys. Anybody that makes a commitment to my program, I try to move them on, if it's the big boys or the little guys. So there's great schools at every level for everybody. And to be honest with you too, I hate to say this, there's D2s that are better than 1s. I mean, you got to look into all of that, so I tell my guys all the time, I said they all want to go to the big guy, the D1s, but there's a lot of good schools down south or that are D2s or might be better fits for them, so one thing you don't want to do is go from a junior college to a big school and then sit. So you know what I'm saying, because you've been playing for 2 years. You want to get that opportunity. So we try to put them in a situation where they're successful after Oakton. Any other questions? Well, Nelson, I thank you for having me tonight. And as I said, there's brochures there on Oakton Community College. One quick thing, Oakton Community College in Forbes magazine was rated top 10 in the country for junior colleges for academics. So we take pride in the professors there, and it's a really good education. And everything you take at Oakton for 2 years is you would take at any major university. So it's just a lot less cost. So, okay, thank you so much for having me.